Hey guys, welcome to Night Owls and happy Cinco de Mayo. Happy Cinco de Mayo, Sasha.
Happy Cinco de Mayo.
That's kind of a fake holiday. They don't really even celebrate that in Mexico. That's something they just do in the United States. So I hope you guys are having a great night. It's great to see you. My weekend highlight. Rich, I'm glad you like it. As you can see, we're not at the Wolf's Lair. We're back in Fayetteville. And we've had a really busy weekend. So I don't know how long we'll go tonight. It'll depend on your interaction and stuff. So if you guys want to call in or ask questions, we will go as long as that goes on. Hey guys, it's good to see you, Turtle Tree.
Yeah, we almost didn't do the show tonight.
Almost, but we decided we're going to do it. We like to do it, but it's we've had such a busy weekend and just doing a lot of stuff, and we've had a lot of rains here.
We have. It was storming pretty bad today.
Yeah, it was a lot of what's this all messed up? Yeah, it
Mm.
was flood conditions here basically. So, but it's good to be here tonight with you. And let's just see what we got here. I thought we'd talk about a little bit, a couple of things.
Oh, and people that paid me for songs, I'm gonna get your songs done next weekend for sure. We had our wedding party this weekend, and so it was very time consuming, and I
Right.
had to do a lot for that, so I haven't had time because I have to do it at Paul's. I can't do it here because I have neighbors.
Yeah.
Like, so it's better to do it at the house. But we'll get to it. I swear to God. Like
We'll get to the
soon.
song. So
It's just been busy.
if you have a song request, $20 session will karaoke a song on Rumble. So YouTube we can't do it because of copyright, but
Right.
we definitely will do that. So thank you very much for that.
Hmm.
And so let's just see who. Let me just share the screen and we'll talk about a couple of things I wanted to go over and get your
Okay.
point of view, Sasha. And did you? I told Sasha about this meme. It's been popular on the internet. It's about would a woman rather meet a bear alone in the woods or a man? And they said most women would rather meet a bear.
Did I not understand how dangerous bears can be?
I
I mean, what was that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio? Was it the Revenant?
Well, we
Or
saw the
he
cocaine bear too.
we
Remember?
fought that bear. Yeah. I mean, well, that bear was on cocaine, but still, like bears can be pretty violent,
Hmm.
and I think black bears are probably the least violent bear.
Yeah, they mostly will run away. I remember that guy that went up into Alaska, Timothy Treadwell, I think his name. Him and his girlfriend got eaten to death by a bear.
Yeah, see, why would you pick a bear over me? Maybe they live in like a Disney fantasy world.
They
Don't get me
do, I
wrong,
think.
bears are cute if you see a picture of a bear, but it's like I don't want to like be around a bear
Yeah,
unless it's in a zoo behind bars, and I
I,
mean they're pretty creatures, but I they're dangerous.
my commentary on all this is that I've often said the Disneyfication of America, where people see the wild and animals in the Disney view. It's almost we gone from one extreme to the other. It used to be wolves and bears are super dangerous and they need to be killed on sight, maybe 100 years ago. To now, after Disney, is they're just misunderstood creatures, and they always do that with like a shark when a
Misunderstood.
shark attacks someone. Oh, they
Yeah.
probably thought you were a seal. They didn't mean to hurt you. I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
they're a
Right.
fish. They don't have ethics, or they
Right.
care.
They're hungry.
If they do human, they're not like, I didn't really want to do this, but I was in a tough situation,
Yeah.
and I wanted to protect my children that are swimming around. No, they eat their children.
They don't think like we do.
Yeah, and I know mammals are higher functioning than sharks, but they don't care.
Right.
And so that is, I think we've gone too far in the other way that bears, I do not want to run into a bear.
No.
And
Yeah, I wouldn't want to run into like a serial killer in the woods. I mean, maybe if it
yeah,
was like, oh, you run into a black bear or you run into like Jeffrey Dahmer, if he
that
was
wasn't the
alive, I
question.
would pick like the bear.
Yeah,
But it's
so,
like just some random man, he's probably going to be
well,
harmless.
just like this, so say if you, just a hypothetical scenario, thought experiment, you have one way to go down the trail, you're going to walk into a man hiking going by you. Looks like a white guy here, which in wilderness, that's usually what you're going to get. You don't see many people of color in the wilderness. The other way you're going to run into a bear, which direction would you go?
I would go to the man.
I would too. That's just like crazy not to. So But this started a whole debate. I think a lot of it was just women kvetching about how dangerous men are and that type of thing.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of them have been brainwashed to think that. I don't know.
Well, some men can be dangerous.
They can, but I don't think that. I don't think like all men are dangerous.
But
Obviously,
I would say most men that you meet on a hiking trail, especially because they show a white guy here,
right?
is highly, and he looks pretty kind of suburbanish. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I think the odds of the man like raping and kill you are pretty damn low.
Yeah, I
So
think so
I
too.
really wouldn't worry about that. But it's funny how they really try to create this problem between the genders of this hatred and everything.
It is.
You're trying to bring a buddy up on your
Yeah,
lap.
he's crying.
I know he should jump up.
Wait, I didn't see him all day yesterday.
Yeah, we were so busy yesterday, so we're
Buddy,
back at the house.
buddy, come here.
Speaking of which, I will be back at the house tomorrow. I think I'm going to do the show here, but then I'll go back. So Tuesday through Friday, I'll be at the house. So yeah, that was I don't know. I found the whole thing kind of silly. Now a lot of it depends on the type of bear and where you are. For example, black bears don't seem to be they're not as big or as dangerous as
No.
that. So it just depends on how that is going. And if you come to between the bear and her cubs, or they have a fresh kill, because usually bears will run away. But again, I don't think it was meant literally. It was, what it was. The men are evil and dangerous type of ploy that it was trying
Well,
to do.
who posted it?
I don't know.
Originally?
It's just a internet question that went around. Oh, you're kind of out of the
I
screen.
know it
now.
hurts me to lean down like this. I don't have a
Yeah,
chair
maybe
behind-
we're not in a place to do this show here. It looks like.
Unless you want a boot button, and I can sit next to you
Get down,
in that
bud.
chair.
Get down. Because there's no sense to do the show if you're not going to be in the show, right? So, all right, let's see if you're in the stream here now.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let
You
me
can see
move the
the bottom
camera.
though.
I know it's
Yeah, that's better. Sorry, this is like my workshop.
yeah, it's pretty
stuff.
it's pretty tight in here with
It's
all
like
the
being
stuff.
in a basement. Think of it
Yeah,
as like a
everything's
basement.
just piled up.
Or like Wayne's World.
Yes, it's pretty crazy. So okay, so that was the no, you got the cat there. That
Didn't
was
hurt nobody.
no, I know. It's just seeing what we're doing. So that was the bear meme that was happening, and let's see what else we have here. Just see if we had any super chats or power chats. I don't see here. All right, the other thing that happened. I kind of wanted to talk about this. Is let me just see here. Get your opinion on this. Maybe we'll just read through a little bit of this. Yeah, we'll go for it here. So here we go. The whole trad thing seems to be blowing up somewhat. And Lauren Southern, my trad life turned into a nightmare.
How was she like when
I
she
never
left
thought she portrayed herself as trad, because when she was in the alt-right sphere, I never got that sense that she was trying to do the traditional lifestyle or anything like that, because she would fly all around the world with
Yeah, because that's not really trad.
She would party with people. She had those
Right.
two I think one was Jewish or both, that the Hope Not Hate Spies. You remember that?
Yes.
And so I didn't really ever get nothing wrong with that, but I never got the idea that she was trying to be this particularly Christian trad woman or anything like that. I know she got married to a guy, then she left the internet. She big, oh, I'm done. I'm gonna, just leave the internet, be mother and wife, or
Oh,
wife
maybe
and
that's what she's talking about then.
Mhm.
That was her trad life.
Yeah, then that kind of fell apart, and now she's the only thing. I don't dislike Lauren, but the only thing I don't like about it is when a couple splits, and then just one side bitches about the other side, and we don't
Right.
hear the other side, because she's got a big audience. So she turned it in about, oh, how mean her ex was, and maybe he was, but we don't hear his
Well,
side.
you probably shouldn't do that anyway, because they have a kid, and one day the kid's going to grow up and he's going to see that, and it's
Yeah,
just
exactly.
not a good thing to do.
Right. I mean, the classy thing she should have done here, I would think.
You shut the hell up.
Yeah, is to say, hey, this is a personal matter. I'm very sad that it didn't work out. Sometimes this happens. I don't want to look back. I just want to go forward, or something like that, right? I mean, he's the father of my son, and I definitely want him to be involved, but I'm, that, but instead it turns all about me, me, me. Look how I'm the victim. And oh, by the way, because I had a bad marriage or had a bad incident, that means it's all fake, right?
Right.
And it's like, well, no, it didn't work out in your case, but most women are not like Lauren Southern. And I don't know the details, but I think probably what happened is I think she missed the limelight because it's really tough because she was pretty famous. She was kind of like the queen of pole. They all loved her back in the day because she was a younger and prettier, and they just, fawned over her. And she got a lot of attention and a lot of money. And to go from that to disappear, to leave the internet, I think that would be very difficult to do that
Well,
when
I
you're
mean,
used to all the attention and praise, and you read about yourself, how pretty you are, and all that.
well, you see a lot of these bands will go on their last tour, retirement
Hmm.
tour, and they never do. It's because they like getting the applause and the
Right.
attention. It's the same thing.
And so my feeling is, I don't know, but if I had to guess, because we just heard her official version, we didn't hear from her ex-husband. But my feeling is she probably got tired of the mommy bit, and she wanted to get back where it's fun, where she would fly around the world and meet famous people, pretty famous people,
Hmm.
go to her cocktail parties,
Hmm.
and get a lot of attention and a lot of guys simping for her. She really enjoyed that. And once that went away, being a mother and a wife,
Just kind of boring.
well, it's not easy.
No.
And I'm not a big proponent of the so-called trad because it's turned into a LARP, and even in the past, what that meant is different things for different people. And we've had a cargo cult mentality where just because if they wear a certain type of dress or a pearl necklace or heels, that makes it trad. So that feels better. So Sasha's close to us now. Let me just take super in the stream. Yeah, there we're good together. This is kind
Yeah.
of cute.
Can you scoot over a little bit, or can I sit
Okay.
on your lap? Let me sit on.
You can sit on
Because
my
my
lap
butt
if you want.
hurts.
Yeah, sit
Okay,
on my
there we
lap.
go. And I can do this if you want. I have long arms. Tell me where to go.
All
Are we
right.
still
Well,
sharing?
yeah, we are still
Okay.
sharing. I was
Just
going to
tell
look
me
at
when
this.
you want me to.
All right.
I can do that for you.
All right. Stop. Oh, I'm going to read part of this. There you go.
Okay.
Stop here. Okay. Does promoting marriage and motherhood inevitably make women easy targets for subordinate status, increase vulnerability, and a return to second class status? I don't think so. I think marriage and motherhood are pretty good things in general. However, not everyone should marry. And a lot of things in life, they put this into a false dichotomy. I saw this one lady complain, "Oh, you're trying to force me to get married. You think I should marry a douchebag?" I'm like, well, no one's saying that.
Right.
And so that's one of the things. And then anyway, so what they're doing here too, because these are leftists, and I'm not surprised. This is a lot of times women, especially, do this. They get in the right wing circle. Supposedly, they grift off it, make money, and then when it gets hot, then they're like, "Oh, I was groomed by these evil right wingers, and now I'm going to come out. I'm going to pivot."
Right.
It's so bullshit. I hate to see it all the time, and that is what it is. And let's just see here. I'm not going to see here all her stuff she talked about. Um, wow, this is a long article. So I'm going to take a look at some of the points they came out of here. And here, then we'll talk a little bit about this. I saw that. I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna read into all of this. Uh, let's see, Pearl Davis, and I don't really like pearly things, but she had,
Speaking of grifters,
yeah, one in a different way.
the pick me pearl.
Is Yeah, maybe she'll come out saying, "Oh, I was manipulated by the right."
Oh, pearl.
Yeah, who knows? They always do that. I get tired of it. It's just like the tale of as old as time.
Hmm.
Once they can't, milk an audience, and they like do a pivot.
Right. Well, like Baked Alaska did that. Remember?
Oh yeah, many times. Richard Spencer, but he had, I think, legal reasons. So
You
these,
want me to read it? Are we
uh,
reading it or?
and I'm just trying to do some of this here.
Oh, see, I haven't even seen any of this because I haven't been on Twitter in a couple days.
Hmm. So a lot of these hens, like Hillary Crowder, because she left Stephen, they're all just kind of,
Agreeing with her.
yeah, it's kind of funny how they do this, where they now all just get in this little clique where the women that didn't follow their advice beforehand, like, "Oh, we're trad women. What's the problem with you? You other women are, not our standard."
Yeah.
And then now they're like, "Oh, you people that believe in the trad, you're just fools." And it's just kind of the opposite, but the same thing.
Right. Can we read it so
Go
people that
ahead.
are like
Yeah.
listening can hear it? This is Hillary Crowder's tweet, and it says, "Bravo, Lauren Southern, for telling your story. May your openness bring hope and clarity to others in similar situations. Heart."
Yeah, let me
Hey.
just stop there. I mean, she's not, Lauren's doing this just to get publicity out of this, trying to muck shit. And I don't understand. No, it's not Bravo. The tough thing to do is not air your dirty laundry in public, even though it will help your career.
Well, you know, when her career was big back in like 2017,
Mhm.
2018, she didn't really talk about that stuff. She just talked about things like immigration and maybe
Yeah,
just go back to doing that and stop like airing your dirty laundry.
I
Just
never.
go
That's
back
why I
to the
said
good,
it.
go back to the good
I
stuff.
never saw her as being doing the whole. There's a few influencers that have done the very trad stuff. That's just what they do.
Right.
But I always thought Lauren Southern would just, like you said, talk about immigration.
I mean,
And
because that
what happened
documentary
in
she did
South,
was good.
yeah, South Africa.
The first one, I didn't see the other ones.
So I didn't really see her in that sphere anyway. So it's kind of weird. But no, it's not brave to do this. The brave thing is to say, hey, even though I can make money and get publicity about this, it's not to trash my ex, even if I have reasons to, because we share a son together, and
Right.
he'll one day read this. I don't think that's,
It's
And
not
by the way,
good.
she picked the guy, right?
Right.
So I get tired of these people. They pick him, and then they're, oh, we're toxic. Well, you picked the guy, right? There's a lot of
Maybe you should
guys.
get to know somebody
How many
before you
guys
marry 'em.
you think would have been happy to end up with Lauren Southern?
Probably thousands.
I mean, yeah. I mean, she was like the little queen bee.
Pretty much anyone on the right, I would think.
And then then she picked the guy, and then it didn't work out. I guess he was a hoppa. I don't really care, but she did that, and then she was Canadian. He was in Australia, and then that created right off the bat a huge problem, because if you
Mhm.
don't work that out before you get married, you're gonna have an issue.
Right, because if you want to live in one country and then somebody else lives in another, you're always going to be homesick or.
And when she did her, campfire video when she got divorced from that guy, because they didn't stay married long, did they? Just a year or
like
two?
a year or something.
It's
I don't
pretty
know.
pathetic. But she said, I gathered that he wanted her to live in Australia, and she probably, I think, wanted to go back to Canada, and then eventually she just left him because he was toxic. He wanted
But we
to
don't
live in-
know because he's never told his
No,
side.
I don't think he has. So
You want to finish reading?
yeah, and then we'll stop at each paragraph.
Okay. He used the political and religious importance she placed on lifelong marriage as a lever to force her to agree. Whenever I wouldn't do something, he would say, "I'm going to divorce you." So, feeling she had no other option, she assented.
That's a weird. I think she's lying here. Maybe the guy said that, but that's pretty bizarre. Almost all divorces in America, at least 70%, are initiated by the woman.
Mhm.
That's just a fact. And you can make the argument that men deserve it because they do bad things. That's another subject. But men rarely divorce compared to women.
And she's like an attractive woman with money too.
Well,
You know,
do
like
you
you
think
think you'd want to
that? Do
stay
you
with
think
somebody
we're
like.
going to kind of have some harsh truths here? But do you think her being young and attractive was a factor in her filing for divorce? But if she had been like old and uglier, that she probably wouldn't have,
Yeah,
because she
probably.
figures she could still do better, maybe.
Yeah.
And and then
Unless
they
the guy.
rationalize it. You don't want to say that, I'm breaking up my family because I think I can do better.
Right.
So then you rationalize, oh, he was toxic. I was in a toxic relationship.
Unless the guy was a douche. I mean, we don't know.
We don't know. He could
Right.
be, but then again, why did she not pick up on that when she was dating him?
I don't know.
And
Unless she just married him like real suddenly without actually knowing him.
that happens
kind of
at
sounds
times.
like it. I know. I mean, she's young. People make mistakes when they're young for sure.
And
was she like 23 or 4 when she married?
in
the
general,
guy?
I think you're more likely to have a happy relationship the more you have in common than differences.
Mhm.
And why is she marrying a hoppa from Australia when she's Canadian? Shouldn't she find a white Canadian guy? Where they have like bond together of hockey and curling?
Right.
So it's and again, I'm not condemning people that do that. Some people get mad because they watch my show and they've done that. Whatever. I'm just saying, the more differences you have, I think the more difficulty it's going to be in a relationship.
Mhm.
You can make it work, but
Yeah,
it's
because
just
we
gonna be
don't.
more
Me and you
difficult.
don't have everything in common.
No, but I mean, the
Mhm.
more differences you do, the more
Right.
problems you have.
Okay.
And do you think he would say that when I want to do something, he would say, "I'm going to divorce you"?
Well,
That just sounds really strange, especially that early on in the
what would
marriage.
he want her to do?
I don't know. Like, it just sounds like, woman, make me a sandwich, or I'm going to divorce you. I just, maybe he said that, but I just kind of am doubting that a
They
little
should
bit.
he should come out and like tell his side of the story, and then we can
Yeah.
judge for ourselves if the guy's a loser or not.
Uh,
You want me to keep
yeah.
reading?
This is
Okay.
cringy. It's kind of
She
funny.
would pray by his bed when he was angry with her, hoping that if she gave him grace one more time, he'd realize the depth of her love and be kinder.
That
I like
sounds.
how I can see the thing moving, the numbers moving while I was reading it.
Yeah.
That's a kind of popular tweet.
I would say this is this is reading something like out of a romance novel or
It
something.
is.
I just can't imagine this happening in real life. Maybe, I don't know. Do you think that's happened?
No. Like, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. People are fucked up.
Yeah.
Who knows? We'll never really know because we're never going to know the guy's side. So you just
Yeah.
have to take her word.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was it for that. So she was out, and let me just show you something else here. Mhm. Um,
Oh, what was the thing Pearl was going on?
well,
I
that's what I'm
thought
going
just
to
showing
show on
me.
here. We'll just talk about that a little bit. All right. This is kind of funny because she's going after these people. Oh, I guess they were talking about Lauren was comparing like being married to slavery, and Hillary was the Underground Railroad.
What?
And Hillary Crowder, this is funny. Capril Javis, Underground Railroad, haha. 25,000 a month for doing nothing. That's what she's supposedly getting paid for by Stephen.
Well, I think Steven was a douche.
He was,
Like
yeah,
that video, but it's like the 25 grand is like, come on.
yeah.
But some people don't even make that in a year. I mean, what do you deserve that for that?
Hmm.
Now, from what I understand, though, she did have a job when they got married, and he wanted
Hmm.
her to quit and be like a stay-at-home wife. So it's kind of like she did give up something, but it's like 25 grand is a lot, and I don't think her job probably paid as much as Steven Crowder's job did.
Fleecing your ex because misogyny is slavery. That was directed to Sydney Watch, and she was with Elijah Schaefer,
Yeah,
right?
that guy's a creep too, though. And I mean, he did get accused of a lot of shit, and he probably did.
And a terrorist keeping a dad from seeing his son in slavery. I don't know. That's just bizarre. These fake tradcons make me sick.
Well, she's not really one to talk. This
No.
bitch is fake too. Like she was talking about, like like it's basically okay for a husband to like cheat on his wife, and they were like, well, what about you if your boyfriend or husband cheat on you? No, no, I wouldn't want him to cheat on me. So
Hmm.
it's kind of like she thinks all other women should have to fall by a certain thing, but
Yeah.
not her. Like she's special.
Yeah. I
And
don't
she
know.
just tells these losers what they want to hear.
Well, she found a niche.
Yeah,
She found a niche where she's it's sort of like the black guy that is a Republican. He can get a lot of attention.
right.
She's sort of like the red pill girl because she gets a lot of attention from doing this. Because it's harder to call her sexist because she's female.
I think she just found a thing, like you said, she found a niche. She got into it, and her daddy has money. The
Right.
girl's worth millions of dollars, and they were able to set her up. And because she came out of nowhere, and then she's
Yeah.
big. I'd never even heard of her until like I don't know a year ago.
First
And
time
it's
I
like,
heard
where'd
of
the
her
bitch
when
come
she
from?
interviewed
Me
Fuentes, I
too.
think. Yeah.
And then she's like basically like the female Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like I'm sure that they sunk money. They probably sat down and talked about it. Like, how can we get your career going? Well, you can tell these guys what they want to hear and be part of this red
Oh
pill
yeah.
woman.
She's
The red pill. It was probably all planned out.
well. She
That's
didn't
what I
start off
think.
like we're doing here with this little laptop
No,
camera.
that's what
She
I
has a professional
she had
studio from the
money.
beginning.
Yeah, I mean, she got to go on Piers Morgan and all
Yeah.
these other shows. It's like they have connections and money.
Right.
She didn't start out grassroots because
I,
she's not. I don't buy her bullshit anyway. I think she's full of shit. I saw somebody on Kiwi Farm said they thought she's actually like a lesbian and like a closet. She is kind of butch,
I don't know about
and she
that.
plays
Yeah,
volleyball.
she was
She's
like
on
a
women's
semi.
sports. That's already
Yeah.
kind of a red flag. and she only dates black guys, or most of her boyfriends are black guys. And it's like,
I don't know. I don't know if that's true, but I have heard those things.
yeah, so I don't know.
But she's been having fun going after these.
Right, because it's part of her business model.
They kind of feed on each other, and
They
they all
do.
get mad at her,
And then we get to
attack
watch
her.
the show.
It's sort of like like Ethan Ralph does with his
Right.
people. But this is more in, I guess, the normie sphere. They're not normies, but you know what I mean. It's a
Well,
bigger
see,
audience.
you've been following the girl drama lately. I've been following the like Ben Shapiro, Candace Owens drama.
Yeah.
Like about that stuff that came out, and what a snake that guy is. And Mark Dice did a video about him. I guess today it came out, and I listened to it, and it was pretty good. And I guess he's advertising like gambling apps and shit like on his show. And they're saying, you know, you're supposed to be like this family man and everything, and it's like you're encouraging people to gamble. It's kind of strange, but he talked about a lot of other stuff with the Candace Owens, and well, that was an example too. Like the guy that's the CEO, he said he spends like millions of dollars trying to get when people are new. He sometimes loses money on people because he's trying to grow and get people to watch him. That's how Pearl was too. I think they sunk a bunch of money into her marketing.
Well, they did.
And that's what they did with Daily Wire. Yeah, they did. Well, with the other Daily Wire people too. And it's a wonder if what's his name, Matt Walsh, doesn't get canceled because he keeps saying stuff, and it's like, oh, you might get the Candace treatment if you're not careful.
You know, I think he's going to get a little bit of more rope just because I think they really took such a hit and bad publicity because they got rid of Candace, you know, the base black woman.
Right.
And it's kind of confusing because let's face it, their subscribers are like boomer conservatives, Israel first, Christian Zionists, and they love, you know, base black women, and they saw her going, and they're starting to get a little restless. So to get rid of Matt Walsh, it would be a little bridge too far, I think, for them right now.
Well, people are mad too because they were going to debate, and she said, like, I'll debate you. And then he said, okay, well, we'll do it Monday at the studio here. And she's like, I'm in England. I can't debate you right now because I can't just show back up. Like, when I don't want to do it on Daily Wire because, you know, that's my old employer. Like, we need to find a neutral platform. And then this whole time he was like going behind her back, getting like a non-disclosure and all
prevent her from debating.
Yeah, and it's like, what the hell? Like, what a rat. Like, and then there was some guy he debated and he didn't like the questions the guy was asking. The guy wasn't rude or anything. And he, yeah, I'm not going to participate in this anymore. You know, like, thank you for your time, sir, because, you know, he doesn't. He knows, I think, on a level, he's not stupid. He knows that he's a hypocrite, and it's hard to spin that. So it's easier just to like ignore people or shut them down than have to really say, well, why should we have to give money to your country? And why don't you live over there? You're all for us giving money to them and fighting their wars. And if people talk about, like, they have problems with what they're doing, you get upset about it, but you won't talk to people about it. You just, oh, I'm not going to debate you. And like Mark Dice said, and I had forgot about this, he lied back in 2016. Remember when he said Trump's campaign manager pushed that girl, and he didn't?
Yeah.
And I didn't know, and I kept hearing that, and then Moscow was like, no, he didn't, and he showed me the video, and he didn't, and Shapiro just straight up made it up. So, I don't know. I think the guy's a scumbag. He's good at first when you first get into it, you know? Like some of the politics on the right. He's good on certain things, but then you find out what he really is. He just wants to make money and you know, shill for his homeland. Yeah. And he doesn't give a shit about America. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Because he even said, you know, we'll have a place to go home to. Unlike you guys, when your country's like become the third world, you're stuck here.
And they had something about
oh, what's going on with Harry Potter?
Oh, we'll show this. This guy, I have to agree with this. Let me just show you guys this. Sasha's a big Harry Potter fan, and show you. Harry Potter star Daniel Radcliffe speaks about his fallout with J.K. Rowling over her comments on transgender.
Oh, I heard something about this. I think that she had a fallout with the girl that played Hermione too. Emma, what the hell's her name? Emma Watson.
Yeah, and he made 110 million off her stuff, and this is his gratitude.
He made 110,000 or 110 million. How? Was it because of the toys and stuff and his likeness?
He probably has it in his. Yeah, he probably has it in his contract.
He should be kissing her ass.
I know. And she's not even a conservative. She just made a statement that women are women, not men.
Yeah.
And
What
these,
used to be common sense,
yeah,
like just a
now it's
few
just
years
such
ago.
shit libs that pushes, and I can't really stand for all this, you know. It is pretty ridiculous on
And he's
that.
not even a good actor.
Right.
Like he should have been glad he only got that part because he kind of looked
Hmm.
like what you thought Harry looked like.
Right.
And it was kind of weird because if in the books, like they tell you Harry Potter's
Hmm.
birthday, the kid that plays him, same birthday in real life.
Hmm.
So it's kind of like, ooh, he's destined to be Harry Potter. But
Right.
he's not a good actor. Like I was watching the first movie a couple months ago, and it's like, yeah, they're all kind of bad, and they get better, I guess, but it's not. If he hadn't been a kid that looked like what you thought Harry Potter looked like, he probably wouldn't have got that part, and he'd be nobody right now, and he'd be poor like everybody else.
Right. And I was trying to find what Lauren said is about, but she was saying, and I won't find it here. I'll just read talk about it. That a lot of she talks to a lot of these supposed trad women, um, and they're not really in happy relationships. It's all kind of fake. I can kind of believe that
Yeah,
too.
me too. Well, why are they on Twitter 24/7?
Yeah, that's
Like, I mean, that's kind of a. Shouldn't you be hanging out with your family or doing something
right.
productive? Because it's a waste of time just to be on social media all the time.
But a lot of these people, they want to cultivate an image. I think Steven Crowder wanted to do
Well, he
that.
did, and then he came off as like the biggest douche on the planet.
I want to doubt part of the reason he married her was for his brand, look
Well,
good.
she was a beard, I think.
Yeah, having a
That's
could
why
be.
she was pretty,
Yeah,
and
it's good for. That's what I'm saying. It's good
he's
for
a
his image. Yeah.
he's got certain things. I think
Yeah.
I don't think the guy necessarily planned for the right team, and she, you know, yeah.
Yeah. So I that's kind of like my take on that too. So I don't even know exactly what they're trying to say though. The whole trad thing is they never really specify that or define that.
I
Uh,
think it means you just stay home and you have kids like every 9 months, and then you don't work, and your husband is your boss,
and you're like the housewife type of
and you
thing.
have to wear dresses and make pie and stuff. Kind of
Yeah,
like what they think the 50s housewife was.
when it really wasn't that
But a
way
lot
anyway.
of women did work. My
Yeah,
grandmas
so
both
did
had to work,
mine.
or they
Yeah.
worked on farms. If you didn't work like at a store or something, you're gonna, people were poor then too, and
Right.
people had to work.
Yeah, I think there's some. I think they're trying to buy into an image that wasn't necessarily real, and what works for one couple may not work for another couple.
Right.
So what you should do is trying to develop, if you're a young person in marriage, what's good for you guys, and what do you guys want? How many kids, and how you want to live your lives, and don't worry so much about fitting into some outside image of how you should be. And we're having that problem both on the left and the right, where the left or the shit lips, they have an image how you're supposed to be. And like, if it's kind of a reaction to the stupid feminists where, like, if you're a woman and you're married, well, they were against marriage too, or that, your slavery. And if you try to please a man, you should never try to please a man, or you shouldn't do any domestic activities like bake. And so I think this is a reaction against that, like people trying
Right.
to force you how you're supposed to live your life as someone powered woman. And then there's the other side. They're trying to say they have their view of it. But I think you have to do what's works for you. Uh, and that's the thing, not trying to live according to some fantasy, because the reality is always different. Like having a lot of kids is hard,
Hmm.
and it's hard on your body, and you're you're not footloose and
You get
fancy
tired because you
seat.
have to get up in the middle of the
Right.
night,
Yeah,
and
you go all through the night. So when you're young and pretty, you're just going around the globe trotting and everything else. When you have kids, you really can't do that, and it takes a lot out of you. And
yeah, I had a
I'm not saying
friend.
it's bad to have kids. I'm just saying that is a reality people don't
I had
see, I think, in
right.
some ways.
I had a friend, and when her and her boyfriend had the kid, like she'd have to work and he'd stay home sometimes, and he started drinking all the time and getting like shit faced watching the kid, and that created a lot of problems because he
Right.
was stressed out because it's hard to take care of kids,
It
and you
is.
have to talk about things and work things out. Did you check to see if there was a call? Because you're supposed to get a caller tonight.
Was he calling you out?
He said
I
he was going to
posted the
call.
link and he has a call. So, yeah, we haven't got many or any super chats or anything. So we were probably going to keep it short tonight anyway. So, so I don't know. Do you have any follow up on that, Sasha, about the
Not,
whole trial thing?
not
And this is
really.
just a thing that blew up a little bit.
See, I missed this because I was busy yesterday. I didn't get to go on Twitter.
Yeah, and there was just some people were upset about this, or they're going back and forth.
Well, it seems like the right just it's been like imploding, like the mainstream and even like the dissident or whatever you want to call it.
You know, the left has their issues too,
They do.
especially with the Palestine thing. They're
They
really
do. And then they have
fighting.
like people like RFK and
Yeah,
then you have people like Biden and yeah. And then all the cringe shit that came out last week, like Kamala Harris on Drew Barrymore show.
right.
God, that was embarrassing. It's like Mosca said, Drew treats everything like she's in an AA meeting. It's like, because
Yeah,
he's been to those before. Like this whole, oh, everybody needs
yeah.
a
That's so
hug.
cringe.
And
I
it's like,
saw
no,
that.
we don't need a
Yeah,
hug. We need lower taxes, but you're rich and
yeah.
elite.
And we need to deport these immigrants. You're rich, so it doesn't,
Yeah,
impact
and it'll
you.
never affect you because you're probably a freaking billionaire at this point.
Right,
Like, so it's like you're never going to have to go to the grocery store or,
right. They
you
never have to
know,
deal with this
you
sort of
just
stuff.
have to worry about being a good person,
Right.
and love everybody. And it's like you don't follow politics.
Hmm.
It's kind of like when Reese Witherspoon said that stuff about Kyle Rittenhouse, and you're like thinking she probably doesn't know anything about that case at all.
Right.
She's just doing what they tell her to do.
Yeah, I think that that is the case, and I think that's pretty dumb.
It is.
And so that's sort of kind of my take on that.
Did you check Rumble? Is that working?
Yeah, I'll see if I'm Rumble around here. Rumble working fine. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's all I had to say, Sasha. If you wanted, we'll wrap up early tonight.
Yeah,
Then.
because if he's not going to call.
Yeah, we wanted to because we thought a guy was calling in, but it was good. We want to talk about a few subjects, but we thought we are going to keep it short tonight. So, guys, thank you so much, and we will see you next week. Talk to you guys later.